Is there a time where it's kind of too late to switch careers? You've come to a point in your life where you've done the same thing for about 10 to 20 years and you've decided to switch a new career. Is it really too late? Hi guys, my name is Howie. I am an entrepreneur and recruiter based in Tokyo and San Francisco, where I talk about things related to career, personal finance, entrepreneurship. So if you'd like to hear about that, don't forget to click and subscribe to get updated on new content. So let's get right into it. There are basically two main components that you should consider if you're thinking about switching careers. The first one is called opportunity cost. Now, opportunity cost is basically the sacrifice that you give in respect to get something else. For example, if I'm working and I want to go work out, I can leave work 1 or 2 hours early, forego that salary, and go to the gym and work out. Now, I will get in better health by working out 2 hours, but I am losing the cost of that extra 2 hours of salary I would have gotten if I would have just stayed at work. Let's get straight to the nitty-gritty.
Tony is a sous chef at one of the best restaurants in the city. He earns a respectable salary of $50,000 a year. It's a good job, but he thinks he can do better. So he decides to start his own restaurant called Tony's Bistro. In the first year, he earns only 25% of what he made as a sous chef, or $12,500. Suddenly, in year 5, Tony's Bistro starts receiving rave reviews from food critics, and he's making 5 times as much as he made at his old job, or $250,000 a year. He realizes that if he was still working as a sous chef, his opportunity cost would now be $200,000 a year. Although Tony sacrificed income and his opportunity cost was high in the short term, in the long run, his opportunity cost would have been higher if he had not opened his own restaurant.
So that, in a nutshell, is what opportunity cost is. So whenever you decide to pursue a new career, it is a big time investment. For example, if we were to take software programming, there is a steep learning curve that you have to take in order to gain the skill sets, the experience necessary to become a software developer, to become a senior software engineer as it progresses. Now, the opportunity cost in that respect is the time that you got to put in to learn that new skill. And the opportunity cost also of foregoing salary because you're putting in those hours to learn that new skill, that new technology skill. So opportunity cost should be one of the main components you consider. It shouldn't be a barrier, but it should be a factor that you should consider when you're wanting to switch new careers into a new field. Another thing that is kind of out there, or it's not as touched upon, but it's called ageism. And ageism is what they call discrimination based on your age. And it's more prevalent, or it's more obvious in industries like tech, because in those industries they're glamorizing or glorifying being young, perhaps leaving college to pursue a multi-billion-dollar startup. And these are all over social media, over Instagram, over LinkedIn, all these outlets, and they're showcasing or showing young kids basically under 25 and under who are successful, right? Who are raising millions and millions of dollars to fund their startup, and they're hiring people to kind of fuel and grow the business. But in reality, we all know the brutal statistics of startups that less than 1% of startups will actually succeed and go on to be very successful, even in the tens of millions to hundreds of millions to billions. So your chances of being successful, of joining that startup or growing that startup to become a millionaire, are very slim. Anyway, back to the case in point, it's all about kind of glorifying or showcasing young talent. And so when you're older, you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you're wanting to make a move into technology, you're gonna have to face this barrier to entry. And there are things that you can do to tackle that straight on and to alleviate those preconceived notions of, because you're old, you can't do that, right? And one of the best ways to do that is to be actively, obviously, networking with people, but showcasing your talents. Where social media may hurt people who are over a certain age, they actually can be used as a tool to help you. It's very interesting. I came upon a YouTube video by one of these famous YouTubers. Her name is Mayuko Inoue, and she's a Japanese-American software engineer based in San Diego. And she has a pretty big channel, and she's been talking a lot about tech and careers. And this one particular video, which is, is it too late to switch to a tech career? The majority of the video is devoted to interviewing these two people. One's older, one's a gentleman, I think he's in his mid to late 30s, and another one is a woman in her 50s. And these people come from a totally different industry and background, and they want to move into a tech career. And so Mayuko goes over some of these things that I had talked about in this video, like ageism, other obstacles as well, and not being able to be perceived as what they quote unquote is a typical tech worker. So what these people have essentially done is they didn't let those barriers or those prejudices hurt them in any way. They actually use that as fuel and fire to study more, to articulate themselves more, to market themselves more, to get a technology job. And so when it comes to wanting to pursue what you want in life, if you have a passion and you have a desire and you are willing to put in the hours and the sweat equity to achieve something, then anything's possible. Thanks again so much for joining this video. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to click subscribe to get updated on future content, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot and have a great day.